everyone's got a machine, so I'm not bothered when man miss gym day. Lager. Did have my air flat like Spragger, had to get caught, I was feeling para. Can't put faith in this Reebok jammer, I got more trust in this kitchen stabber. The girl them say the lingo's madder, she said, hey, where did you get that grammar? Lager.
Get the fuck out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here. Out! Move. Get the fuck out of here.
Resist. You cannot come in here. Resist.
We don't care. We don't know where it is. Get out. That's not your job. We don't know that. Get out.
You're not even from here. You're not even from this country.
This is a lie. I don't care. Who do you work for? Who do you work for? No, who do you work for? Nick Shirley. I don't care about Nick Shirley. This guy. But who do you work for? Nick Shirley. I don't care about Nick Shirley.
That's who he's working for today. Nick Shirley.
Don't stop here. Get out of here. Yes.
Would you like to give a statement, sir? And see, you guys say I can't film, but look at you guys filming. You can do that. You can film here.
White business. Why not this white Minneapolis? Why? I grew up in Minneapolis. I don't have to go anywhere. Did you grow up here? Did you grow up here?
Why do you care?
I was born in Minneapolis. You're telling me to go
to the white place.
I grew up here.
You're telling us to go to the white place.
What?
White business.
Are you a
Go to the white
racist?
business.
Are you a racist?
You are racist. How?
If calling out the fraud makes you a racist, then sign me up. It's not racism. And we're not the far right either. We're just right. We were just right about President Trump. We were just right about a bunch of other things. We're right about the Somali fraud, and we're right to say that it's Somali fraud. You know, the greatest double standard here in contradiction of the MSNBCs of the world, they hold up an identity when there's success. They say black excellence, immigrant excellence when they talk about Ilhan Omar. But in failures, all of a sudden, it's racism or bigotry. You can't have it both ways. If you're going to hold up an identity or a group in their success, you have to take accountability with the failures as well. It's Somali fraud, and we're going to be calling it Somali fraud, and we don't mind being called racist.
Meanwhile,
it's a daycare center owned by Somalians and stuff like that.
Have you ever seen any kids in this place here?
No, not that I know of. I just seen it, the building itself. I've never seen nobody come out the building or go in the building.
You've never seen anybody over there?
No, not at all.
So right now we are in front of the Great Minds Learning Academy. This is one of the many daycare centers, learning centers here in Columbus, Ohio that are associated with the Somali community. As you know, Nick Shirley put out a bombshell report about all these fraudulent daycare facilities in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So we wanted to come out to Columbus, Ohio and investigate what might be going on in the second largest Somali community in the United States of America. So this place here is the first place we're gonna knock, and we're gonna see if anybody picks up or answers the door. Let's see. So it's locked. We're ringing the doorbell here. Knocking on the door. Nobody's picking up, so we're not sure what the hell is going on here, but we're gonna get out of here. Now there's somebody over there. How you doing, sir? I'm sure you see the reports over the weekend about all the daycare centers in Minnesota. We just wanted to see what was going on. Did you know anything about this place here?
It's a daycare center owned by Somalians and stuff like that.
Did you ever see any kids there?
No, because they use the back door, so I want to know if they use.
They use the back door.
Yeah, I've never seen nobody come in, but they use the back door.
But have you ever seen any kid? You live around here?
Yeah, on this building right here.
Oh, you're in this building?
Yeah.
You're in this building too? Let me ask you, have you ever seen any kids in this place here?
No, not that I know of. They use the back, so I've never seen nobody come out the front.
You've never seen anybody over there?
No, not at all.
I just seen it, the building itself. I've never seen nobody come out the building or go in the building.
So we came to the back, just like those guys suggested, and there's nothing here. Yeah, we can keep poking around, but there's so many of these centers to go to. We're just getting started.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. No, Will Robinson. Danger.
You know, honestly, you knock on the door of a daycare center and you're like, let me in, let me in. What do you expect people to do? You know, in some of those cases, there were children in there. What do you want people to do in that situation? Open the door and say, come on in, when they know that the Somali community is under attack, is being threatened every single day? What is going on here?
Right.
We're a state of immigrants that values that. We have more refugees per capita than any other state.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
We have more refugees per capita than any other state. That's not just morally a good thing, it's our economic and cultural future.
What's wrong with you people?
This beautiful diversity we see out in Worthington when I'm there, you see 50 languages spoken in the school, and you see every storefront filled with different types of foods, different types of businesses that are happening. Minnesota needs to continue to do that. The office of governor can set the tone on that. We're going to continue to need to diversify. We're going to have to put policies in place that make sure we're attracting teachers of color so that students of color have someone that they understand, look like, think like, see like in front of them, as well as other students. We are doing it in Minnesota.
Crackdown in Minnesota over potential fraud is ramping up on multiple fronts now. Not only do you have DHS and FBI agents on the ground, but the Small Business Administration is now halting all federal funding to the state after identifying $430 million in PPP loans in Minnesota that are suspected of fraud. As we've been reporting, these concerns over fraud, particularly in the child care space in Minneapolis, go back more than a decade, including these surveillance videos that were part of a case prosecuted by Hennepin County back in 2015. The video shows parents checking their kids into a daycare and then walking back out with them minutes later. Our Minneapolis Fox station reported that sometimes the kids wouldn't even show up, and that either way, the businesses would bill the state for a full day of services. This other video shows parents then allegedly receiving envelopes of cash as kickbacks from the owners. The state is responding to these latest allegations of fraud at child care centers, claiming that it's already investigated many of the businesses in Nick Shirley's viral video.
So there have been ongoing investigations with several of those centers. None of those investigations uncovered findings of fraud.
Why you always lying?
One of the centers, Quality Learning Center, closed just over a week ago.
What you talking about, lady? The manager of the Quality Learning Center says they never closed, and they are even open now, and that the state agency was putting out false information. All of this is raising more questions about the credibility of the state agencies who are supposed to be overseeing these programs that are now being investigated.
The fundamental problem here is that we have a governor and an administration that has totally broken its trust with the people of Minnesota. So it's very difficult for any Minnesotan, and it's very difficult for us to take at face value anything that the Walz administration says on this topic.
As all of these investigations continue, Attorney General Pam Bondi says the Justice Department has now charged 98 individuals in Minnesota with fraud. 85 of them are Somalis, and she says more prosecutions are on the way.
Well, some people have been held accountable, but I think in the opinion of most Republicans, not nearly enough. And truthfully, until somebody in a position of power, until somebody in a position in Minnesota, elected position, who was in charge of administering this or having some oversight over it goes to jail, it's honestly never going to stop. Look what's going on in blue states across the country. $9 billion in Minnesota, $70 billion in fraud in California, cooking the crime stats in Washington, D.C. When is someone in a position of power going to go to jail for the rampant
hold on
fraud?
a second.
You can put all the low-level people in jail you want, but until somebody in charge goes to jail, it won't stop.
You're exactly right, and the reality is whenever you import the third world and whenever you import corruption, you should expect America to look more and more like the third world. That's what mass migration does to America. It fundamentally transforms American communities, including those in our heartland. Some of the most traditional American, white picket fence communities you can imagine. It transforms them, turns them upside down, and turns them into backwards third world societies, just like where many of these Somalis came from. And I think that we're realizing that more and more. We've got to recognize that mass migration is the problem here. But another problem is that Democrats
Well, just real quick, because that is an important point. We need to leave it here in just a second. But on that point, do you see legislation coming to maybe get rid of some of these people that were naturalized and now have defrauded our government? Do you see anything changing in Congress with the midterms coming up? Because this problem, I mean, if you can't fix what you've brought in, can you at least stop from bringing more in? Is there legislation viability for that?
I think that there could be, and I've been pushing for that hard. Listen, I think that the reality is that we need to make sure that our border stays secure, that we don't have any more illegal aliens coming into the country, but we also need to take a look at our legal immigration system, make sure it's working for the American people, that people who are coming into our country are coming from civilizations and cultures that are compatible with our own, and that is not the case with these Somalis. Frankly, I think we need to drastically reduce legal immigration.
The locusts mentioned in the Bible, specifically Joel 1, are the undocumented. They're the Somalians. They're the jihadists. They're the Islamists. All the people who are crossing in over the borders in efforts to take over America and other countries. When you read about the locusts in Joel 1, it explains to you that this happens over generations, that the locusts come in and they devour and they take over, and each generation takes a little bit more and a little bit more until it's all taken. That is exactly what we are seeing and have seen. They come over illegally or even legally sometimes, and they continue to have children and they continue to hold on to their ways until eventually you go from America, land of the free, one nation under God, to a land that says a boy can be a girl can be a boy. We don't serve Jesus anymore. The churches are gone and now they're temples. There are people who are legally taking your monies, your incomes, your benefits. They are devouring your land. They are devouring your religion. They are devouring everything that America stands for and that all these other countries stand for, that Christians stand for. And they're replacing it with their religion, with their ways, all while eating up all of your resources. These are the locusts. I don't care how much y'all tell me politics doesn't matter. We are seeing the spiritual war through the politics. We are being taken over by the locusts, and God is about to respond to this. And you'll see that in Joel 2 when God says he's going to send in his army of super soldiers, his army of children that is indwelled by his spirit. Continue to stand up, continue to fight, continue to speak the truth, because God will indeed use his people to combat everything that we're seeing happening in these countries right now. God bless.
Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, ring that notification bell so you know every time I post a new video. If you like what I'm doing over here, you want to show a little extra love and support, be sure to check out our website, crownandthread.com. That's where you can grab all the awesome clothes you see me wearing in all of my videos. Like this one, it says, he conquered as the lamb, returns as the lion. You know, the Lion of Judah, that would be King Jesus. And these are all handmade by my beautiful wife. We got tons of different designs to choose from, Christian, conservative, sizes ranging from itty bitty extra small to big and hefty 5X for my folks that like to eat. Bunch of different colors. It's all gooder than chicken to me. Of course, I'm biased though, but I'm sure we've got something that you look great rocking or that'll make an awesome gift for someone you love. We also sell some pretty sweet woodworking pieces made by my father-in-law, crosses, hearts, charcuterie boards. Definitely go check those out as well. If you'd like to support in other ways, you can buy me a coffee, hit that thanks button. You can become a member of the Gibson family right here on YouTube. All those links are down below in the description section. Listen, by no means do you have to do any of that stuff. Just showing up and watching my freckle face for a few minutes, that means the world to me, seriously. And I love y'all. I truly can't thank you enough for rocking with me throughout the years. Whether you've been here since I started back in 2017 when I was doing music reactions, or you're a recent subscriber, by the grace of God through my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and with y'all's support, my life couldn't be any better. Seriously. So thank you. And until next time, I'll be praying for you. Godspeed. I'm gone.